Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are now live. My name is Tabitha Christopher of tabithachristopher.com. And every single Monday, we do these chats called the Mind Style Makeover Monday Chat. All right. So my company founded the Mind Style Makeover Boot Camp. It is a character and resilience building training program for students in college, high school, and middle school, providing them with a roadmap to succeed academically, athletically, socially, and emotionally. Tonight, we have a two-part segment of our chat. The first segment, I am going to be inviting on one of my friends who won this really fun game that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was to name five positive words that start with the letter B. And this friend of mine, she was the first to list it. She said, believe, beautiful, beloved, bold, and brave. All of these words describe her very well. And my promise was whoever was able to answer it the first, I would invite them on to the next Mind Style Makeover Monday chat. And I invited her to come on. She graciously said yes. And I would love for her to just share in the beginning of our first segment. She's going to share what she's thankful for and why. And then the second part of our segment, we're going to be talking about the titling of Their Skin Color Won't Tell You Their Story, why character matters more than what someone looks like. So you guys will give me one moment. I'm going to invite Clara on. And she'll be on in just a moment. She just sent me a request. I'm accepting it. So just give us a little moment because I do have weaker connection here on this side. So maybe a little bit for her to get on the live. So as she's coming on, this is a great time for you to share this broadcast. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and share. We're going to have a really good conversation as we get into this first segment, talking about what Clara is thankful for and why. And then the second segment is why character matters more than what you look like, your skin color. So here we go. Let me go ahead and try again and see if this, sometimes I have to press it multiple times. We did a test earlier and that's what I had to do. So I'm just going to keep hitting accept until Instagram allows me to let my friend in. All right, so it says that you're unable to join, Clara. So it's okay. You just go back out and then come back in and see if it resets itself and then allows me to let you to come in. So as Clara is going out and coming back in, I want to just chat really quick about this topic of what we're going to be going into in the second segment. And it's pretty big because it's one of which it comes up a lot in different places that I've had the opportunity to go and speak, get into different circles, and automatically certain individuals, no matter what skin color they are, they would assume my story because of what I look like. And then when they hear my story, they're usually quite surprised and shocked with the perspective and belief system that I have that isn't mainly pushed on mainstream media. And I love having those conversations with various individuals, whether it's my family, friends, or people that I'm just getting to know. And it provides an opportunity just to remind anyone that I come in contact with to take time to slow down and pause and listen to hear someone's story, get to know them as a person and not judge them by the cover of their appearance. And there she is. Hello, Clara.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh. I'm having to walk around outside.
You look amazing. Sorry, I know it's super cold out there.
No, I'm good. I'm warm.
Okay.
I got my hat. Oh no, I'm excited to see you, my friend.
Okay, so good.
Thank you.
Yes, most definitely. So you guys, this is my friend Clara. I did a game a couple of weeks ago, as I said earlier when we first started. I said, hey, whoever can name 5 positive words that start with the letter B first. I'm going to invite you on the next Mind Style Makeover Monday chat. And Clara was the first to put it in there. And she said, let's read it again. Believe, beautiful, beloved, bold, and brave. So, Clara, I would love for you to share, what are you thankful for and why?
Well, I'm thankful for a couple of things specifically, and that I get to wake up every day.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a gift, and I'm so grateful for that I get to try and do a little bit better the next day and try to make a little tiny difference.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about something to really share with you and your folks. And I thought about the people I observe in my world, in my life, that really impact me, and or I call them my mentors, but oftentimes they don't have a clue that they're mentors. They don't know. And they're authentic, they're real, they're so genuine, they are so their spirits just shine. And Tabitha, I decided that I really want to thank all those people, and you are one of those people.
What?
That are a mentor to me. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that, it could be a pastor, it could be a friend, a neighbor,
Yeah.
that we don't realize that they really impact us, and that we watch them from afar maybe, but we need to be grateful for them and thank them.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting with you, and I hope that some of your listeners will maybe think about the people that are actually teachers, because when people do things that from a distance that you observe, and it just touches your lives, your heart, and and I'm grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Clara.
I'm really thankful for. And I'm thankful for you, my friend.
I'm thankful for you. This is so great. And I was thinking back to when we first met a couple of years ago. It was like coming up top of this year in April will be 3 years since I first met you and your husband. And just thinking to that moment of where Pastor Joe and Pastor Susanna encouraged everyone to go out and just meet someone you've never met, and engaging in conversation with you and your husband. It was just like, whoa, there's some really awesome people around that it's so easy to just not ever get to meet, because we get so full of whatever we're doing.
Yes, yes.
And I was so glad that we stopped to talk to you.
I'm so glad. On Thanksgiving Day, I posted on my Facebook page these two of my great niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are these tiny little children that just filled me with joy. We wrestled, we tussled, we played in the yard. They really brought it back home. Like, this is what living in the moment is. Be here now. And children are some of the greatest teachers.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm thankful for people.
Yeah.
People in my life.
That's so good. Clara, this is great.
Thank you for what you do, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for being you. Like, you're just so down to earth. You're welcoming. You're open. You're just you. And I think it's refreshing when you're able to meet someone that is grounded and who God made them to be, and you love from that space. And I'm thankful for that. And so anytime I get in touch with you or get to cross paths with you, there's something that you say or something I see you do that inspires me. And I just take note. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool how she's able to move so freely with people. And, yeah.
You're describing you.
Well,
come on. You're describing you, and you just don't know. I mean, and I'm so fortunate to know you.
Same here. I appreciate you. This is so good. Clara, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that. And I hope that everyone that gets to see this on the replay, that you do take Clara's challenge up, and think about who it is you're thankful for, and take time to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm thankful for you because, and then fill in the blank. You'd be surprised what that would do for that person.
Matters.
Mm-hmm.
It really matters. That's the whole thing.
It does.
Yes,
It does.
matters.
100%.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. This is so good. But Clara, thank you so much again. We're going to hop off right here, and then we're going to move into the second segment of the Mind Style Makeover Monday chat. Thank you for starting it off on such a high note.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. All right. Awesome. Hey, Ray. It's been a while since I've seen you. I trust all is well. So, all right, Trailblazers. So we're getting ready to move into the second segment of the Mind Style Makeover Monday chat today, where we're talking about the ugly truth about judging the cover of a book. And in this example, we're talking about judging people by the outer appearance of what their skin color is versus getting to know the story, aka the fruits that they produce within their life. My name is Tabitha Christopher at tabithachristopher.com. Again, my company founded the Mind Style Makeover Bootcamp, a character and resilience building training program for students in college, high school, and middle school, providing them with a roadmap to succeed academically, athletically, socially, and emotionally. Coming up in March, we're going to be launching our first in-person cycle, a beta test cycle of the Mind Style Makeover Bootcamp right here in Pensacola, Florida. Details of that is going to be coming soon. And those that's within my Trailblazer tribe will be the first to get access to those limited seats that will be available. We will be opening up to 50 college students for the first test cycle coming up in March of 2025. All the details of where and when that training is going to be happening here in Pensacola, Florida, will be coming first to those in the Trailblazer tribe. Now let's go ahead and dive right into the topic, our hot topic for today. In skin color, their skin color won't tell you their story. Yvette, no way. Hello, my friend. So I want to dive into this topic because it is one of which is near and dear to my heart, because I've had the opportunity to travel various places around this nation and abroad in doing my work of stop faking it and own your story. And I've had the opportunity to come face to face with multiple diverse audiences. And one thing of which anyone that knows me, from my clients to mostly my clients, they will be the first to attest to you that my entire client base, for as long as I've been working in health and fitness, even in the entertainment industry, my friends, my clients, all come from very diverse backgrounds. Very diverse backgrounds. And I'm talking, my clients I've got to work with are from all corners of the world. And everyone looks very different. They speak different languages. They have different cultures. And you know what made us able to come together to be thick, and I mean thick as like blood, like family, looking out for each other, loving one another, is taking the time to get to know each other's story. Not assuming that we know someone just because what they look like, and just because they look a certain way, all of a sudden means that they must believe the way that I believe. It means that they hold in high regard integrity, that they hold in high regard loyalty, that they hold in high regard compassion and care for others. So, Trailblazer, from very young, I learned the importance of taking time to get to know someone's fruit. Someone's fruit. The fruit meaning character. The character of that individual that will reveal the story of their intent of what they desire to leave a legacy of. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying to move into every relationship with your guards all up and not trusting anyone. No, I am open. How I lead into relationships is I give everybody an equal playing field. However, I'm not going to give one person more leverage or more, what's the word? More favor than someone else just because their skin complexion matches my own. What does that mean? That's ludicrous. And how do I know this? Well, from since a young child, I had, oh my gosh, I've had multiple run-ins. The majority of the most negative experiences that I've experienced in my life, from being taken advantage of in ways that I'm not going to share on this live broadcast. I do share about it in my book, Secrets, the Book of Destiny. Most of the most vile encounters that nearly cost me my life multiple times were done by people from my own country and had skin complexion similar to my own. The majority of those instances. When I left my country of the Virgin Islands and came to the States, the most negative encounters that I've ever experienced, where my life was put on the line multiple times over, were from people that they didn't come from my country. They didn't share the same culture that I had, but they looked, their skin complexion would be categorized as if they're my people. The most heinous types of acts that I've experienced are for people that had skin complexion that looked like mine. Then on the other side, I've had experiences from bullies that didn't look like me at all, but it was on the very small number of scale, whether I was going to a predominantly white school or predominantly Black school. And so what I came to realize, and I'm so thankful for my parents for what they instilled, especially my mother, in making sure to emphasize that talk from Christ, where he says you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. Fruits meaning their character, their life lived. Their life lived. And oftentimes what we tend to do is we will excuse bad behavior because, oh, well, they're my countryman, or they're my countrywoman, they're from my country, or they look like me. So I've seen people, I've heard, I've witnessed multiple times over certain individuals giving excuse of bad behavior just because that individual is from their country or is their family member. How many of us have been guilty of that? I know that I'm guilty of excusing bad behavior because they were my family member. I didn't do that so much for someone that was not my family member. I did not. But if they were my family member, I would give multiple chances over because I really value the relationship. And even those that weren't my family, I see bad behavior. I always want to give people, what's that saying where they say to give them, is it a shadow of a doubt or no? However, you guys know what I'm saying. I want to give people a chance, and I may give them up to 2-3 chances before I draw the line. But Trailblazer, I want to encourage you to know that most oftentimes we can get ourselves mixed up in a lot of trouble, a lot of hot water, because we turn a blind eye to the red flags that are being shown to us. And we oftentimes can excuse it because, oh, well, you know what? They're from my country. Oh, well, you know what? I grew up with them. Oh, you know what? I've been friends with them a very long time, but that person has consistently shown they were never a friend from the beginning. But we continue to excuse that bad behavior because, you know what? They're a friend of the family. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to make anyone else uncomfortable. I don't want to make this unsettling for anyone. So we continue to carry and put up with bad behavior that is toxic, that is destroying them, destroying you, and destroying the other relationships around. This whole topic of their skin color won't tell you their story. Let me share something with you. I was in Atlanta when I first moved to Atlanta in 2005. In 2006 and 2007, I had three different encounters with law enforcement, and each of those three times, my life was threatened for obeying the law. Like I wasn't doing anything. Well, the first time was I went through a green light. I was the second car to go through when the light turned green, and that was a whole situation. That was a pretty scary situation. Um, and just to let you know, two of those cases I got a ticket, and so the first one I got a ticket for going through a green light, but the officer said I went through a red light, and I was able to. I didn't even have to prove my case. As soon as the judge saw the name of the officer, he just tossed the ticket without even engaging with me on what happened. He just saw the name of the officer and tossed the ticket. The second time I was wearing my seatbelt, but the officer said I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. That was a harder one, I thought, to prove. But when I got to when I went in to fight that ticket, the judge saw the name of the officer and tossed the ticket without even engaging to hear what I had to say. The third time I didn't get a ticket, the officer just unclipped his gun from the holster and put his hand on it. I'm not going to go into the. I was about to turn right, which I had a. There was my. I was in the lane to turn right, and he came up on his motorcycle on the inside of me, which you're not supposed to do. No, a motorcycle has to abide by the same laws of a vehicle, a full car. And what he did was he slipped in on the inside of me in the turning lane, slipped in on the inside of me to make the right turn before me. And so I was already in that right turning lane. I'm about to turn right. He slips in there. I'm getting ready to turn right, and then I hear boop 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 boop. So I turn and I see him there. I was shocked. And then I put my hands up like, what are you doing? And then he reached over, unclipped unclipped the holster, put his hand on the gun and pulled it up and looked at me and was like, what you gonna do? He said, just like that, what are you gonna do? And so I've shared these three instances that happens for various audiences, mostly predominantly Black audiences here in America. And then also when I took it back home to the VI, I was sharing through this true story workshop. And it was just to provide an example of how foolish it is to judge someone by the color of their skin. And so after I shared the story, and then I asked the audience, predominantly Black, I said, what color do you think each of these three officers were that threatened my life each time? Every single one of them threatened my life, every single one of them. And immediately the audience, predominantly Black students, all yelled out without raising their hands, white. They were white. Of course, they were white. Yeah, they were white. They were white. And then when I tell them, every single one of those officers that threatened my life were Black, a quiet comes over the audience in shock. They couldn't believe it. And then when I shared other instances of my time of running in with the law in Florida, in Georgia, in LA, and in situations where I was helped, I was cared for, they were patient with me. And then those that weren't patient with me, they didn't threaten my life. And when I tell them that those officers, they weren't Black, they were white or they were Hispanic, then it's like, it's so perplexing. And then when I share other instances of things that took place for me from when I was a childhood all the way up, of situations that I was in where I nearly lost my life from peers, from people who I thought were my friends. And then I say, well, guess what their skin color was. And now they don't know what to say because that whole story with the cops threw them off. You see, when we take time and we allow for media to dictate what it is, how we think and how we move, then the enemy of darkness of our soul as humans, which the ultimate goal is to divide us as human beings, to ultimately destroy every single one of us. Not one of us, not one of us is better than the other. We are human beings created in the image of God. Okay. And so this war against humans and putting up identity of what people look like as a means to determine who you should trust more from who you shouldn't is complete tomfoolery. Their skin color, whoever there is, doesn't tell you their story. You don't know the intent or the content of their heart. You don't know if they mean good for you or evil. The only way for you to be able to know that is with time. So whenever I open up to start a relationship with someone in business, whether it's a client of mine, whether it's a business partner, or even going into like wanting to bring on my family to help me on certain projects and so forth, I treat every single one of them with the same equality that I would a stranger. I don't assume that just because you're my family that I'm going to get over on you and get your services for free. Actually, my goal is to treat my family better than I do a stranger. Does that mean I'm going to pay them more than what's worth for their service? No. We're going to have a discussion about what I think is fair. They're going to tell me what their rates are, and if I think it's more than what's fair, we're going to talk about it until we come to an agreement of what works for both of us. So we approach the situation as human beings, leading with, how do I want to be treated? I want to be treated with respect. So I'm going to give respect, not because of what they look like. Heck, what? That never made any sense to me since I was a little girl. It made no sense to me at all. I mean, my goodness. You know, this is what Christ said. Christ was talking to a group of folks, and he was basically talking about leaders. He was talking about leaders and how to be able to know who to follow. So he said, beware of false prophets. Or you can insert whatever you want to insert in there. Beware of false teachers. Beware of false friends. Beware of false business partners. Beware of false whatever. Fill it in where you want to fill in. Beware of false leaders. Fill it in how you want to fill it in. Who come to you in sheep's clothing. So beware that you don't get beguiled, deceived, because you're looking at, this my brother, this because they black. Oh yeah, this my sister. All right, queen, because she black. What the? No. Mm-mm. No, not here. Not over here. Not with me. Not at all. Not at all. Ever. Okay? And simply because of this right here that I learned since when I was a little girl. Beware of false prophets. Beware of false leaders who come in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. The fruit is the action by which that person lives. The fruit is the words that person speaks. If that person is using curse words, if that person is gossiping about someone who is not there to defend themselves, that they are revealing to you their character. They're revealing to you their fruits. If they're doing that to that person who isn't present, then obviously they're going to do that to you. Don't be surprised when they do. They're showing you their fruits. Okay? If that person has lied, whether they were caught in it or you're aware that they lied, or you caught them in the lie and you say, hey, that's not true because you said this at this point. So which one is it? Right? Which one is it? Hey, Marcel, hey, my friend. So which one is it? And you catch them in it, and then they're like, oh yeah, my bad. You're right. I lied. And it's okay, well, I forgive you. Let's move past that. But there's no need to tell lies. Like let's not do that here. And they don't do it again. You may just forget about it, just move on. But you don't keep bringing up the past and you know what I'm saying? But if you find that they're consistently engaging in being disingenuous, not being honest, don't I'm encouraging you, don't overlook that. They're showing you their fruits. They're showing you their character through their words and their actions. They're showing you who they are. So Christ goes on to say, you will know them by their fruits. Okay? Even so, in verse 17, this is Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 15 through 20. He says, even so, every good tree bears bad fruit? No. Every good tree bears good fruit. But a bad tree bears bad fruit. Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Therefore, you will know them by their fruits. So, Trailblazer, in this, as we move into these next 4 years with our administration, with President Trump and so forth, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop whoever is in the White House. It's never going to stop. As long as we're living in this fallen world, you're going to see tactics from darkness. You and I, we have one enemy, and that enemy isn't humans. That enemy isn't flesh and blood. I know that that may curl your blood because you probably have some folks, as do I, that have done some pretty bad things. They have done some things that's like, man, it hurts. It hurts real bad. I know, I get it. But still, they're not your enemy, as much as you may not want to hear that. They're not. They have the same enemy that you and I have. And it's the enemy of all of our souls. Whether you're a Bible-believing Christian or not, and you're like, well, Tabitha, I don't, I'm not a religious or faith type person. Well, you are a faith type person, whether you know it or not. And if you're a person that like to do good for those who are less fortunate than yourself, then you're actually a religious person as well, because that's what religion means if you look it up, is to do good unto those that are not able to do well for themselves. Now, for me, I have a relationship with the Most High God, Jesus Christ, and I do my best to follow his way. And he makes it so simple. You and I have one enemy, and that enemy is the same enemy of God who made us, you and I, in his image. And so that enemy of our soul would use anything. And because he sees that skin color or our nationality or our culture or varying languages is keeping us at odds with each other, to keep us divided, he's going to keep using that tactic. Because when you and I are isolated from one another, we are weak. We will not be able to withstand the power of darkness. It will overpower us. But when we come together as one, we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable when we come together united. So I want to give you a heads up right here, right now. There are going to be productions that will be created coming out of Hollywood and other various media industries to incite division between us, to keep us at our far ends, screaming at each other about our differences and keeping our skin color or nationality at the forefront, when none of that matters. None of that will tell us each other's story. None of that tells us our great value. Our skin color doesn't do that. It's our story. And that's something that requires us going beyond judging what we see from the outside. So I know this talk was much longer than what we typically go, but It's extremely important. And it's something that I know for sure I'm going to revisit it multiple times over because the tactic of division is going to heighten. Something is going to happen in our nation or somewhere in the world, and skin color is going to be the basis to create an even greater division because it's been working. It's been working for a little over 400 years. It's been working. So that tactic is going to be used, and something is going to happen pretty soon to cause us to go on our four corners apart from each other. Let's be aware. Let's stay vigilant and not allow for the enemy of our souls to keep us divided. But let us look for the commonality of learning who we are, the character of who we are, not what we look like. Let's take time to get to know each other's story and see the incredible, immense worth and value that each of us hold as human beings. My name is Tabitha Christopher, tabithachristopher.com. I hope that you enjoyed our Mind Style Makeover Monday chat, which happens every single Monday right here in IG Live as well as on YouTube Live. So I hope that you join us for our next chat. Find out what that conversation, what that topic may be. If you want to hear us chat about a certain specific topic, it could be a hot topic, message me. Let me know what it is. And who knows, it might just end up a part of our Mind Style Makeover Monday chat. And I may just invite you to come on live to help us to facilitate that conversation. Well, until next time, I hope that you continue to make this day as great as you are. God bless, and we'll talk soon.